Welcome to the All About TRH podcast, aka All About the Real Housewives, aka All About the Truth. On today's episode, we cover the Real Housewives of New York City's latest episode and the entitlement around the new cast, plus talk net worth. Hey, cousin.
Hey, cousin. That was weird.
So weird, right? But I feel like we need to remind people that we're cousins.
Oh, yeah. A few people are new and don't know.
I know. I don't know if it's new listeners or that people just don't want. I don't know. People get offended for other people. I don't know. But you guys not you guys, but someone wrote a review and said they cannot take how I speak to Chantel and how I don't admit when I'm wrong, which I feel like I do admit when I'm wrong, but I just think I'm right. And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, we found out Chantel was right. Chantel's always right. So y'all are savage for that, or whoever wrote that review saying that I am mean to Chantel. Chantel, defend yourself now.
Yeah, if you guys think that's mean, oh my God, come to one of our family gatherings.
Oh yeah, you guys would be like, this is pretty bad. And I don't know why people don't notice when you do it to me. Maybe I do it more, obviously, because like.
See, this is why you want me to look bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. No one can make you look bad, Chantel. So
okay, thank you.
There you go. But you guys are savage for that. So we are cousins. We're 6 days apart. You know why, Chantel? We never did like an about us, but we're 6 days apart. Chantel literally lived with me all of high school.
Not literally, but
yeah, on the weekends.
Every weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're just super, super close. I feel like, I don't know, I don't cousins act like that with each other or sisters? I'm not sure.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people who like have that relationship, they like totally get us. And then people that don't, they're just like, this is scary.
Yeah. Yeah. We get that sometimes. We saw each other quite a bit this weekend. And Chantel, we played pickleball this weekend. So that was fun.
Yeah, Roxanne like finally has a sport that she's good at because she sucks at every sport. And so she was loving it that she was actually good at something.
I don't remember much, but I'll never forget when I did volleyball tryouts and they put me on like the next level. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to make volleyball. And I never did. And I just was never an athlete, I guess. It's so depressing, but that's okay. But I was good at this and I thought the game was so much fun. And Chantel and her fiance came to our pool club and played with us and we went swimming and it was so much fun.
Yes, I had a great time.
But our weather sucks per usual.
Of course.
Is like every state like this? Like is every state having these like this weird summer or is it just us?
I just feel like Michigan's bipolar, but maybe some people in the Midwest. Yeah, they probably have the same.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so miserable. It really, really is. It's just depressing and it's like cloudy all the time and it's like we get 2 to 3 months of this. Why is it like this right now? It's so crazy.
I know.
Whatever. I like fall the most anyway, so it doesn't matter. What do you think of episode 2 of New York?
Ugh, Roxanne, I don't like it.
Really? See, I think it's because you have an attachment.
No, it's weird. It's forced.
Really?
I feel like they're trying to bring the drama and they fight, but they fight about the dumbest things. Like they're fighting about cheese and food and lingerie and just the dumbest things that are just not making any sense. Like I don't know. And maybe us missing Bryn, like Bryn was not on this episode at all. So I feel like we definitely need her. She brings a different character.
I saw people say
energy.
That, so I'm sure that's like making her really happy.
Oh yeah. Because I do think she brings a different energy than the rest of the cast, but I don't know. I'm not loving it. I was bored. I'm not going to lie.
So, I mean, you have an attachment. You have an attachment to New York because you watched it. I feel like if I watched New Jersey and Beverly Hills and they just completely started all over because those are my favorites, like I would be like, I can't get into this. I just can't. But you know what I think? I feel like with Real Housewives, what's been the downfall is they cast people who aren't really a housewife. Like when you think Real Housewife, you think family. At least I do. You think married, working mom, maybe not. But I just think of someone who's married, has a family. Then you see them cast the new season and 3 of them, I think, are married. 3 aren't. 3, whatever, like have 2 have never been married, I don't think. And then we find out later on who has been married, but like, barely any kids. I'm okay with like, okay, they're divorced, but I don't know. Am I wrong here? I just feel like it's not the Real Housewife that I envision.
Um, what my problem is with this cast in general, or maybe I think maybe Bravo came to them and said we need a drama, but they're just, and then they're like bringing this like energy of very entitled, and we've seen rich people
Yeah,
like
I talk
Beverly
about
Hills
that.
is motherfucking okay, good. Beverly Hills is rich people, and we've seen a lot of rich people on all the franchises, and it's like you guys are not the only rich people, you guys are not the only ones that get the better things of life, and you guys are coming off very entitled and very just
Yeah,
like
I wrote
it's not
that.
cute. Yeah, it's just not cute
Well,
to
let's
me.
talk about their net worth because I have it up here. So,
Oh, okay.
who do you think is the richest?
Aaron.
Okay, so Aaron is worth 1 million, according to the net worth website. But yeah, it says she is worth 1 million. I think when they say that, they're just maybe describing her. I don't know though, but she's a realtor or whatever. And then we have Jessel. How much do you think Jessel's worth?
500,000.
Yeah, she's worth 1 million.
Okay.
She started out as a brand consultant and a fashion publicist, and then co-founded a PR company. So that's where she gets her money. And then I would kind of think Sai is like worth so much because of how she acts.
No, she's an
But
influencer, but I mean, I'm sure she makes good enough. I mean, her husband is retired,
yeah, and she gets,
but
things for free.
yeah, and they do live in a nice like Brooklyn, like those like Sex in the City houses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and she gets things for free. Like typically as an influencer, you'll get it comped or for free. So even though it looks like a lot, it's because it's like comped or free. So yeah, she's worth 1 million. And then Uba is worth 1.5 million.
Is
But
Uber married?
no, Uba's not
Okay.
married. Yeah. So she's 1.5 million. And then Bryn is actually 3 million.
Wow, what does Bryn do?
She's a
She's
corporate
been a
communications and marketing consultant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Jenna is 5 million.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Jenna. Jenna for sure. I mean, she was like the CEO or president of like J. Crew, which is a big deal.
Yeah, so that's like how much they're all worth. Nothing crazy for them to act how they're acting, you
It
know?
is the
So
scariest thing.
no, it
That's what I'm
really
saying. Like,
is.
we've seen Kyle, we've seen Lisa Vanderpump, we've seen it
Yeah.
all. Like, we've seen the rich of the rich, and the way they're acting, I was dying.
Well, so Aaron's having everyone over on the Hampton or at the Hamptons, and it's like the downtime. So people typically don't go around this time, but her house is absolutely stunning. Her house is gorgeous. And
Gorgeous.
she does this whole spread of caviar, which I think is gross, but I guess it's fancy. And
Have you
I
had caviar?
I feel like I've tried it one time and I was like, this is disgusting. Why do people like it? But I know that people love it, and and it's fancy. So it's like good for people who act as entitled as they do. I would think they would
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I think it's rude that they called before to complain about it. And, they said, okay, well, we're going to get a sandwich. Just get the sandwich, she's just trying to spend a lot of money here, or she's trying. And I don't get the whole caviar stuff, but I wouldn't act like that even if I didn't get it. I'd appreciate the effort, and my friends would obviously know that our group wouldn't eat that, so they wouldn't make that. But the way they act, you would think they'd eat something like this and only want something like this.
They're so high maintenance that I was just dying. It's like, how many times are you guys going to complain about something? It's like,
Yeah,
there's a complaint, 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 complaint. It's like, just be grateful. Like, be grateful
I
that you're going to the
agree.
Hamptons. Be grateful that she's giving her house to you.
It's a
I
beautiful,
just
huge
can't,
home.
I couldn't handle.
Isn't it funny how no one really has been on a girls trip until like they join the Real Housewives? I
I
feel like
know
I hear that
that's
all the time.
same. It's so funny. I think it's because you kind of feel selfish to do it, but then when it's like, oh, it's for work, I have to go, it's for work, maybe
Or
they
you have
start to
to
do
get the
it.
right group, and this kind of forces a girls group to happen.
Yeah. And then
So
Sai is saying she's bringing her own toilet paper. That's weird. It's not even funny.
it's too much. It's too much, and it's not likable. And it's I don't know. It's are you no matter what. It's just they're giving a vibe off where you're coming across as not likable.
They're
Not you don't have to
giving,
be humble, but
yeah,
it's just I don't know.
yeah, they're giving not cute. They kept saying that
Yeah,
word. They're
right,
giving,
right.
it's giving. Sai kept saying it's giving.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
giving
giving
not
not
cute.
cute.
It's giving gross. It's giving the ick. That's what
Yeah.
it's
Oh my
giving.
God, that's like the British from Love Island giving me the
Yeah,
ick.
the ick. Literally. It's so funny because I feel like they've always said that and we're just now starting to say that in the US. Okay, so can we talk about Jessel not having sex since having her twins and they're 1 years old?
This was very concerning, and it makes so much sense why she's so mean to her husband because she hasn't gotten
Yeah.
laid. Like, get laid and you'll be a little bit like nicer.
I get the ick talking about sex or whatever. Or not the ick. I just hate when people like act like, oh my God, we've had sex 700 times. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
Like
But
Uba was saying she
yeah,
had sex like
exactly. I'm like,
6
shut
times each
up.
night.
Yeah. But you know that a marriage is headed the wrong way if you aren't doing that in 1 year. Like, that is crazy. She said she's insecure about her C-section scar, but she can do it in so many different ways that no one sees that scar. Like turn off the lights. It's all really weird. You can do it from the back. I know that's a lot, but you can do a lot of things. And it looks like based on your Instagram, you're wearing things that show off your body. So if you're
Yeah, you
wearing
feel
things, you can't be that insecure.
this episode was very contradictory for her because she doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I think we see at the very end she kind of does have this revelation of why she might not be having sex, and it makes sense because the whole IVF journey that they're in, and it is work. Like it's like they basically were having sex to have a kid, and it's like becomes not sexy, but it's like you feel sexy as a person. You wear sexy clothes. You were crying about lingerie, which we'll
Right.
get into, but then you won't have sex with your husband. It's been over a year. That's a very concerning.
I'm sure there's so much tension in that household because I feel like when you're married and you don't do it, like there's tension. And then when you do it, it's like kind of like, I know this is TMI, but it's like released, right? And I feel like there's so much tension in that household. And that's probably their biggest issue right there. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just,
I would.
it all made sense when we found that out though. Like
Yes.
their
Mhm.
relationship all made sense. And to be honest, if I hope to God this is not the case, but if there's going to be a divorce in the New York, I can absolutely see that happening with them because
I'd be sad because
they're
they were
gonna
like best
see
friends
things.
before, and
Yeah,
then yeah, but then yeah, if they're not into each other, if you're like you settled, it maybe seems like maybe she settled a little bit. I don't
she
know.
totally did. Yeah, you
Yeah,
could. I said that they had a brother sister relationship, and she totally settled and wasn't really like into him like that. And the bigger that she'll get with the show, if she, if it continues and all that stuff, I can see her leaving him, and I can also see him getting embarrassed by all of this and being like, okay, wow, yeah, I know we haven't had sex in a year. This is super weird, and now the whole world knows, and having a problem with it.
yeah, and it. I mean, she didn't air out the dirty laundry. She didn't make it seem like he cares that much, which is also concerning. But maybe he does. We don't really
Oh
know
my
that
gosh,
though.
there's no
But it's
way.
like you would think that he does care a lot or something, and he would be the one saying, "Okay, like what's the problem? Why
You
aren't we having
shouldn't be
it?"
with a man who doesn't care. Let's just say that. If they don't care that you're not having sex in a year, like especially, they're young. It's your first set of kids. I mean, I have 3 kids. You just figure it out. I mean, it's been 1 year. These kids nap and they go to sleep. So I know it's exhausting, but it is what it is. You can figure it out. So I don't know. I was
Yeah.
really surprised. I was dying that Erin said that she was raised not to show up empty-handed at someone's house, but then last week she did that,
I
and I
was
was
dying.
like
I wrote that
dying.
down, and like I'm so happy they showed it because it's like, girl. But she did
Yeah.
address it because she clearly does have that like mentality. But you could have stopped somewhere. You could have done something.
Well, yeah, and especially if they're going to her house and they're staying there for 3 days, absolutely bring stuff. I
I wonder if
mean,
they all did. It didn't seem.
I
I
would
think.
hope.
Yeah.
I mean, all I know is that these are the group of friends I would never want to host. And I feel like I'd get anxiety knowing I'm hosting them because they seem so over the top. They just seem like complainers. Like they're not happy. They're not satisfied. They want to complain. And this was a beautiful house. I mean, the Real Housewives, even the like richest of the rich, have gone to houses or wherever, stayed at Airbnbs that were not even nice. This was super nice.
And even Sai, or not, it wasn't Sai, it was Jessel, I think, that, she puts her in the girls' room, like her little girls' room, and she's like complaining about it. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, be happy you're in the Hamptons. Be happy you're in a nice home and just call it a day. You're there for 2 nights. It's
it,
okay.
it just makes me respect Kathy Hilton even more because Kathy Hilton comes from, she's married into money. She's been married for freaking ever, and she has seen it all. And when she would sleep in a bunk bed, like she didn't
Yeah.
care where she was sleeping. She never acted like that, and that's like real money right there. And she never even acted like that. So I was just like, this is all too much, all too much. Oh,
It
by the
was a
way,
lot.
someone gave me a bad review for saying Jenna's name wrong last
Oh, I
episode.
know.
You guys, it was the
But it
first
was the first
episode.
episode and the first, yeah, first franchise, you guys.
Give us some grace. Jesus. Anyway, so Jenna's mom died 6 weeks ago, and I was shook because I don't know, she obviously she didn't seem like someone whose mom died 6 months ago, but I get everyone does grieve differently. But then we find out that they weren't close, and I couldn't tell when she spoke about it if she was sad because one of the ladies like mentioned, that Jenna does come off cold, and then Jenna opens up and says like her mom was like that. So then it also makes sense of Jenna's demeanor too.
Yeah, I really like Jenna. I think she has a story that I want to hear. She has all these different layers that will come out,
Yeah.
and I really do like her. I think that she's a good mix, and hopefully we get to see her son. Maybe like she talks about her family more because she was married and she does have a
Yeah.
son. It doesn't seem that way. It seems like maybe the ex-husband doesn't want the son on there, but
Yeah.
I really like her.
I feel like Jenna's going to be the main character, by the way, because I feel like even the way that Bravo's setting her up, she's always in the middle.
Oh,
So I feel
okay.
like she's a lot's going to happen with her. Back to Erin, I just think they're all being rude to Erin. Again, I keep talking about this, but she's hosting them in a beautiful home. They're hungry. They don't want to wait until dinner. And if that was me and I was going to a girls' night or girls' like weekend, just give me apps and liquor. It's a girls' trip. I'd be good. And I hate when people complain, especially if we haven't even seen you host yet.
And like, are you guys really that hungry? Has it been a few hours? Like, you didn't eat
Yeah.
any snacks? Like, it's fine. You're
It
gonna go
seems
out to
like no
dinner.
matter well, it seems like no matter what Erin does, they seem to complain about it. Because even when
Yeah.
she chose a restaurant, they were not satisfied by the restaurant. So it seems like no matter what she does, what she picks, it's not good enough. And she's actually trying so hard to accommodate all the, every personality.
You're right. I would never host those girls again. If I was
Never.
ever,
Never.
hosting, like, we're just like my friend group, we're just so grateful for like even going to a pool and having like, cheese. Like they complain about the cheese, but even having like a veggie tray, it's like that's what you should be grateful for. You shouldn't be complaining about anything.
She's opening up her home to you, and it's a beautiful home, and she's even done custom things for you guys. It's the weirdest thing how everyone's acting.
I
It's
know.
so gross. I know that Sai is maybe used to like free stuff, so to her she's not impressed. I don't know, but it's like, girl, I'm not impressed by you at all.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that none of them are impressed, which is very shocking.
Yeah.
It's like, come back to the earth, please.
And then they're all like sitting down, and then they're like, so what are we doing tomorrow? Like everything was exhausting. Everything was schedule, questioning. Like they're just looking to complain about something. And it was a lot. Even you just talked about the girls from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They don't act like that. And they're super paid. And it just made me like Erin even more because, like Chantal said, the entitlement, the lack of awareness, it was too much. And the best housewife to me is someone who has money but has like class about it where they can adapt to any situation, even if it's not a situation they're used to. And
Exactly.
they complained about Aaron's trainer. They complained about coffee. It was all too much.
Oh my God, the coffee, the like, getting up in the morning, being nauseous. It's like you guys are you're right, it's exhausting. I would have
It
been so
was,
exhausted.
oh my
I
gosh.
can't.
Yeah, I would have just been like miserable about the whole thing. And I would have been immediately regretting even hosting these people. I'd be like, why would I ever do this? And they're so ungrateful. I would never have them to my house again. And then I would just
100%.
wait. I would wait to see, all right, come on, you host. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you do. Let's see what you accommodate. But the thing is, I don't think Erin's the type who would ever expect or complain about something or want more. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see about Erin.
Yeah. Again, I think Bryn not being there, I think hopefully she would have been a little bit more carefree. I mean, maybe not because she's that person that didn't go to that one restaurant because she was crying about it.
Exactly. So
But
they
I
all
would
seem
hope
like that.
that it would have been a little bit more like lighthearted and just fun. Like we're here
Yeah.
to have fun, you guys. But
And
like
yeah, it
even
didn't seem fun at all.
yeah, and then they get back and they're gonna wear lingerie, have a girls' night wear lingerie, and that even turned into something. Like it's like, why is this happening? Why is every
Yeah.
moment, every situation? She was so mad about her lingerie, Jessel was. Did you think it was ugly?
No, I think what happened with Jessel is like I feel like was maybe off just because they kept bringing up her sex life,
Yeah.
and no one wants to be questioned about that. And then you have Uba where she was like, "Yeah, I have sex 4 to 5 times a day," and she's like, "Every time I've ever had sex, it's never been just once." And I don't know why I never believe people like that. And it's always like those people who are constantly talking about it, but maybe it is the case. I don't know, but I think that she was already annoyed. And then she's like, because everyone's questioning her relationship, everyone would be annoyed by that. And then she told, them this thing, and now it keeps getting brought up that she was already like triggered and in a bad mood.
Yeah, but then like why would you shouldn't act that way though. Someone give you free lingerie, like be just it's just
That's what I'm
be,
saying. They're all so
be more
entitled. I don't like any
relaxed.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If I got something for free, I'm not going to say, oh, I got the ugly one. Maybe I'll say it in a confessional, but I'm not going to make it a thing.
Yeah, yep. I think that's why I was just like I was very flabbergasted this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know
It
how someone, because I think Andy once said on, like, Watch What Happens Live that, like, it was, like, it's giving I'm just kidding. It's giving Miami, like, Real Houses of Miami and, like, that kind of vibe. Like, absolutely not. Even Miami hosts who are bougie and, like, fun and they have money,
they're the
like, they do not
best.
act this way. They act so they're there to have a good time and just, like,
Yeah, they
be
just wanna drink and
fun.
have fun. It'll be like one person oh, it kinda sucks. I feel like half of them don't drink, and not that, like, you're not fun when you don't drink, but I do like seeing the housewives go crazy with, like, a little bit of liquor in them.
Yeah, but I mean, Uba is one of them that doesn't drink, and she has the energy
Yeah, she
of
totally
someone
does.
drinking, so
Yeah, that's true. It was crazy to hear.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. As you know, I am wedding planning and getting married, and when big life changes happen for me, it always makes me feel a little uneasy, and not knowing the unknown is really hard for me. Whether you're dealing with decisions around career, relationships, or anything else, therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate life, so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. Trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is like anything. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. I am in therapy now to help with these big changes that are happening. And I've been telling you guys about my panic attacks I've been having. And just learning new tools just to have in the toolbox has been really helpful. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/TRH today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TRH.
It was crazy to hear about Jenna and her work asking whether, she wanted to confirm or deny if she was with a woman because to me it's so inappropriate to ask and I feel like if someone asked that now it would never slide. So, I don't know, it was crazy to hear that. But then it was also weird that Jenna doesn't want to talk about who she's dating and I'm kind of surprised Bravo would allow that, but I'm sure we'll end up seeing more.
we'll 100% find out who she's dating because it has to come out. But
Right.
I do think that still happens nowadays with like where she was working. It's like J. Crew. It's like high fashion New York. It's like all about socialites. I don't know. I feel like they still would do that nowadays.
I'm in HR. I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like that's so inappropriate. And I feel like you can't ask that stuff about like personal things or like religion. So I don't know, but maybe,
But I think it's the New York Post that came to their HR. You know, they're all it's all about getting your name out there. So
yeah.
I'm sure they have a crew for that, and then they came to her and said, "This is what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
Confirm or deny." But
When you hear about Jessel's relationship back to this and how she met her husband, all of it makes sense. Cause to
so much
me,
sense.
they had the brother sister relationship and she never gave him the chance. But then one day realizes probably there's not that many great people out there. He loves me. I'll go for him. But they were totally like roommates, brother and sister. And I feel like that's where they're at right now because they were trying so hard to have a kid. And obviously, yeah, like when you're having sex just to like have a kid, I'm sure it's not going to be the most enjoyable thing ever. So,
What I'm hoping is that this first season for them, when they're rewatching it, it's like a light bulb goes
yeah.
off for both of them, and then they, crazy drastically change their relationship, and maybe she becomes a little bit nicer to him. Maybe he, wines and dines her to make her feel sexy and more. Like there's something missing, and hopefully this brings it out and doesn't make them go to the divorce round. They just get better.
Yeah, because I just can't imagine. Like I got married, I had a kid, and I literally cannot imagine us not doing it or like any of us being happy or I guarantee like if she did do it with him like he would maybe treat her differently. I don't know, it's all very very weird. But back to the lingerie, so she wears the lingerie and what kind of happens?
Well, I mean, she was acting like a crazy
I
person.
know. I know. She
She was
totally
acting
was.
crazy. I
This ep-
couldn't.
the episode wasn't that great.
I'm glad you said that because I was like, if Roxanne comes back and says she loved it, I'm gonna go crazy on you.
No, not that I love it. I just didn't. I'm still interested. Like I still want to watch. It's not. You know how we get into those shows where we're like, oh my god, we have to watch, and it's like we're so not into it, but we just like kind of have to watch for whatever. I'm not there yet. Like I like
We're
it,
still
and
giving it a chance.
yeah, like I enjoy watching. Oh, like Atlanta. I hate Atlanta this season. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, are we gonna just watch just a recap because this is so bad right now, and I just want to go to the reunion. But I feel like I'm still enjoying this, and it's maybe because I at least see one normal person, and I think they're all gonna get a reality check because the entitlement with all these people based on their net worth, which is still a lot of money, but like for how they're acting, okay, I get it if you were super paid, that's all you know. No, women, like please sit back.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
yeah, that's pretty much all that we got for New York.
I
And
think we should do, because New York is clearly like, you know, lacking a little bit. I think we should do Crappy Lake with it because it makes sense.
yeah,
And have you been watching it? I haven't watched it yet, but I think we
I
should
know, but you
recap
keep
Crappy Lake.
saying that you're gonna watch it.
I know, but if you tell me like we're gonna talk about it, I will.
And I really am liking Orange County. And I'm liking Orange
Yeah.
County because so I'm excited to talk about that. We can do Crappy Lake. I mean, there's not much to say because it's like it's lighthearted and it's fun, but yeah, we
Oh, okay.
can touch on it. It's like not drama, but I like that about it. But yeah,
But
we
see,
will
sometimes you don't need drama. You just need entertainment.
exactly.
You need it to be
Yeah.
funny. Like that's how sometimes I think is it Miami? I think Miami's funny. Like I laugh a lot in
Oh my
the
gosh, I'm
episodes.
obsessed with
Or
Miami.
the Real House
Also,
is a girls trip. Sometimes it's just funny, you know? So you like watching it.
if you guys haven't watched Miami, please watch Miami. Just start with the newer seasons, not the ones from like 2013. It is so freaking good. I cannot get over it. And
And
it
it's
is
coming
just
back
so
on
good,
Bravo too.
which I'm really happy about because I feel like Bravo, it's like more hype and it's consistent like with people watching it. Not everyone has Peacock, which you should get Peacock because I do love Peacock, but I feel like I watch Peacock over like Hulu, over Netflix, over all those things. So yeah, I don't know. We will absolutely do that. We're actually gonna do, I know we've been saying this, we're gonna do an episode next with we're gonna have Laura come on. She's gonna talk about some events she's gone to and you know, like kind of how production has acted about that. And then we're gonna also read an older interview that we did. And it gives you it's, you know, my favorite New Jersey vibes from an older interview. And yeah, so we're gonna do that. And then we'll also have Orange County. I know we talked about like, will you guys listen if we do 3 to 4 episodes? And you guys were like, yeah, we will. Like, we are so excited about that. So that made me feel good.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, well, I think that's all though. I mean, there's nothing to drag out. We will be back probably tomorrow with another episode. But thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Bye
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Comment.
Please make sure to rate us and subscribe. And if you're listening through Apple Podcasts, leave a review. Thanks for being here and check us out on Instagram at allabouttrh podcast.